Nomso Seipati, Mokhuoa, Chief Executive Officer of Southern African Women in Leadership. What an honor and a privilege to have you as one of the inaugural Trailblazers of the Southern African Women in Leadership Awards. I am really excited. Congratulations to you. How do you feel?
Exciting, to be, the first. Hi. To be the very first people to be selected, it's quite exciting for me. And I feel so privileged to be among the 30 odd plus women that are there. I really feel like those are the trailblazers that should actually get the privilege to be celebrated by the Southern Africa.
So I cannot even begin to emphasize how much I am proud of you, how much I personally look up to you, because genuinely, you truly are one of the very rare diamonds and trailblazers in Southern Africa. I don't know if the continent even knows, what a quality leader and woman and pioneer we have in you. And I say this because of what is currently happening in COVID. I've had the pleasure of attending some of your talks. So I really speak from the heart when I say that I think this is definitely one of those conversations that will sort of, lay the foundation for young girls out there and other women, women older and women my age, to see the opportunities that are there in terms of the 4IR, the 5IR, and so forth. So before I hand over to Andy for the formal interview, tell us who Nomso is and what got her a seat at this table.
Awesome. So I start off usually my story when I got inspired to follow the sciences. I used to watch Star Trek, that whole series, and my parents wouldn't understand why I'm so clued up on watching such a fantasy sci-fi television entertainment while I should be watching cartoons. But I used to be excited about such things, and I then started off my passion for sciences through that exposure, and obviously I had a high aptitude for maths and science, and then I ventured into sciences in varsity, where I studied physical, chemistry, computer science. But in all of that, I describe myself as really as a go-getter, but a strategic go-getter, because in all that I'm doing, I'm integrating sciences, technology, and I want to see the impact of those in society and changing our communities.
Wow. Incredibly amazing trailblazer that you are, Nomso. Thank you for that. Dr. Andy Brough, over to you.
So, Nomso, we hear a lot of talk about the fourth industrial revolution and now even the fifth industrial revolution. And here you are as the MD of the commissioner at the South African presidency. What a position that is. And what does that involve exactly? Maybe tell our viewers about the role you have in the presidency as a commissioner there.
Thanks, Dr. Andy, for that question. In 2018, when the call for commissioners to form part of the think tank to be an advisory to the presidency's office for the fourth industrial revolution, I had about 3 professors that actually said, we're going to put out a motivation for you to join this, because we believe your ideas on how Africa can connect, utilizing existing infrastructure, can really propel this revolution that is actually in motion, because it started in 2012. I then got selected, and I learned that close to 2,000 applicants were there, and they only selected 33, and I was among the 33. So I felt so much, that feeling when you say, you're doing a right thing and you're being noticed and your work is known and understood and people see where it's impacting, hence you are in this team. And being in the 4IR Commission has really taught me the idealism of how to ensure that technology harnesses and enhances economic activities, and also how it can solve socio-economic challenges in South Africa. And we would know that in South Africa, we have these three unique ones. Well, they're really not unique because they're quite very broad in the southern region of Africa. And number one, it's poverty, and we have unemployment and inequality. Sort out those three things, and they make South Africa competitive because we have the infrastructure, we have the right leaders. I mean, the women in this Trailblazer selection, they are actually part of those granules that are ensuring that 4IR is embraced in the country. And really, one of the challenges, Andy, we have seen is that whenever we speak about 4IR, when I do community awareness, people get this anxiety that, you know what, we don't even know in which revolution we are in. We might be in one or two because we don't see these things happening. But, you know, the experience now to actually have someone who's a nuclear scientist and tell them, this is how you're going to participate. These are the policies we're putting in place. These are the recommendations that will ensure you that if you are innovative, you can play in this space, and these are the skills you need to gather for yourself. Thanks, Andy, for that question.
Yeah, the second question I want to ask you has to do with small enterprise, because on the one hand, you've spoken about technology and the enablement of technology, but on the other hand, you're focusing on small business in your role as a non-executive director at CEDA. Tell us about your passion there. Why small enterprise development? So why is that so important, would you say?
Great question once again. So I applied to be part of the CEDA board with the intention that I've always seen that the growth of women-owned businesses, it's very inorganic, it's slow, it really needs to be accelerated. There's a lot of empowerment that needs to go through, you know, besides the events and also all the glittering dinners we would have as women to celebrate one another, but there's an actual input that needs to be done for women-owned businesses, such as ensuring when we say access to market, that happens. When we say access to bridge capital, highly intensive capital, that happens. But there is work that needs to be done in the background that is ensuring that these women that come up with business ideas and that open up businesses, they are supported when it comes to ensuring that their business models are validated and verified in certain markets, and also that they are mentored and coached, because it does not help to give someone money and access to markets if they are not assisted mentally and physically when it comes to ensuring that their business is sustained.
Nomso, what pearls of wisdom would you share with a younger version of yourself? You're just leaving school. You haven't yet got into university. The world is your stage. Looking back now, what advice would you give to that young woman?
Andy, I recently had a privilege of interviewing the executive director of UN Women for the Africa Tech Festival, which is hosted by Accelerator based in London. And I asked her the very same question. And I said, what is it that we can really give to younger women, younger girls in underexposed areas, villages and rural areas? And she says to me, it's confidence. So I want to repeat that. I want to really say that, be confident, be assertive, and lastly, be part of something bigger than you. And this is how you're going to learn, and this is how you're going to get to know yourself.
Nomso Kana, on behalf of the SAWIL Trailblazers, we want to congratulate you for getting this far and wish you every success with the finals. Thank you for joining us.